Hi guys, welcome to the Lenormand Box time. If you don't know me, I am Toni, the card geek on social media and founder of the World Divination Association. I would like to say hello to everybody. Hi Susanna, hi Yasmine, Nancy, Maria, hello, Pharah, hello, Connie as well, and everybody else who is watching. If you put your name in the comments, I can say a big hello to you. I'm going to show you the easiest way to read a Lenormand box spread. I'm going to get you to throw all the techniques out that you know so far. Hi, Antia. Hi, Jackie. Yeah, throw them out of the window and just read the Lenormand box spread in the easiest possible manner that you can. I'm going to read for you, so questions that I don't know of just yet. Hi, Emmanuel. Hi, Marlies. Hi, Marion. Hi, Anita. Facebook, there's somebody come up as Facebook user. I can't see your name, I'm afraid. If you put your name in the comments, hello. Hi, Julie. Hi, Riri. Yeah, so if you would like a reading while I'm on here, feel free to put a question in. Obviously, it's going to be with the box spread. I'm using the Sui Generis tonight by Chiro Marchetti. Hi, Gustavo. Hi, Wendy. Maria has a question already. What's in store for 2022 work-wise? Emmanuel wants a career. We know how much I love business and career. Reads Yasmine wanting to move to Germany, or how the move to Germany will work out. Lovely. So I will get started already so that we aren't having too much ramble on, as we know that I can ramble on pretty easily. I'm going to switch it to the overhead and we can start pulling our Lenormand boxes. So Maria wants to know what's in store for her work-wise. I'm just shifting my chair over. You see, I've got the man and lady out. The reason I've done this is I'm going to do a few reads for you that shows what a difference the male and female querent cards mean, or the difference in the reading style when they fall out, and then some random ones without. So I take the card for Maria, and I haven't sorted lighting out or anything. I apologize. Maria, work 2022. Whoops. Maria, work 2022. Gosh, I'm all fingers and thumbs today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because we have the querent card out. And then I am going to mix the querent card in. And if you've got any questions on techniques or the Lenormand in general, pop them in the comments and I will work through them as I work through the reads. Bouquet's a nice start, and woman falls at the top. So already we know that our querent is in a good position in the in control of her work in 2022. We have just one ahead of her and one behind, which means we can see things that are easy for her and things that are difficult for her. Whip, birds, coffin. Ship is an amazing card, obviously, in business. And the first thing we look for is obviously business related cards. And we have the ship there, which is a making sales card. We also have birds there, which is the hard work card. That's putting effort into your work. So you've got two cards on a work basis, and we have, without querent sitting centrally, she's looking in this direction. We have difficult things and easy things for her, and obviously the line in which she sits. the easiest way is to take your cue to start with immediately from your querent card. You look behind her back and you see Book is sitting there. So immediately with Book sitting behind her back, there are going to be things coming to light with regarding work that Maria struggles with. She has Coffin beneath it. She's probably going to be putting some of her services to rest in 2022. The ones that with Coffin and Dog, the ones that haven't, because it's in her inauspicious line, her struggle line, the ones that haven't been serving her well. So at the beginning of 2022, we can clearly say to Maria, you're going to be finding out what isn't working on your services, and you're going to be stopping them as soon as you go in the year, basically. Underneath her, she's going to be putting effort in, and next to Dog as well. These are the services, again, that we said that aren't serving her well. Loyalty is something that sticks to her, so it sticks to your querent. So the services that are loyal or haven't been loyal because it is in an inauspicious position. I'm trying to explain every interpretation so that it makes sense to you. Underneath her, and she's going to put the effort in to working out which her best sales avenues are. So if, for example, Maria was selling reads on 5 different platforms, she would be going through her platforms and saying, well, this actually isn't serving me well. Maybe, Maria, the courses that you make up front and then really struggle to keep up with, for example, and cutting those out in order to focus on things with Bouquet that are incoming, and Ship is incoming too. So focusing on offers that actually do bring in the sales. And with Birds and Whip, it's a double whammy of putting extra effort in. The discord that is within her, which means extra effort, so 2 lots of effort into the things that actually bring the money in to Maria. So as a work read, I would say, going into 2022, Maria, you really need to focus on what is actually serving you well versus what isn't, the 80-20 Pareto law, and putting effort into the activities, even though it may be hard work, putting effort into the activities that are actually bringing your sales into fruition. I took the Man card out because I was focusing on the Querent card just to explain the technique. Pharah wants to know about timing in it, so I will absolutely look through that in a second. I'll go back up to the questions. Sorry, you can't see my face. Maria's there. Okay. Emmanuel wants to know about his career. So I'm showing with the Man card now how you would read with a Man card. And as you saw, I didn't go across rows. I didn't use knighting. I didn't use the corners. I read every single card in that spread as a whole to get the information. Emmanuel's career. Show me Emmanuel's career. Emmanuel's career. Emmanuel's career. That was the Crossroads card again. This is a great deck if you don't have it already. It's a great reading deck. So we have 16 stars. Sun, which is a great card for growth. Sun is our growth card. Hard work, again. Fox in the mix. Man centrally. So with Man centrally, we can see what's weighing down on him and also what he is somewhat in control of. So we take our man as our cue for where to start. We take the cards behind him. He's looking in that direction. We take the cards behind him as the ones that he struggles with the most in his career. The cards ahead of him, what will go well in his career, bearing down the three from the top downwards, showing what's weighing on him, and the ones below the male as also there can be actions, but they're also what's going on beneath the surface. So we look behind his back to see what's difficult, and we see that the with Tower and the longevity, his long-term career, he probably has a struggle in finding what direction he is going in. He thinks he is in the right direction, but there's something niggling him with the fox behind his back. There's something not quite right with the direction he's moving in. Tower is our long-term longevity card. So there's something not quite right in his long-term direction. He really wants to grow. So this can be indicative of somebody who is wanting to find their direction, as we said with the stars card, but also wanting promotions, etc., wanting to grow in their career, wanting to flourish in their career. He maybe not feel at the moment that he is flourishing because he has cross beneath him. It's a painful card, a grieving card. So he feels at the moment probably quite stuck. He's wanting that growth, but the cross card beneath him showing that he's really not feeling that growth right now. And what will go great is this: the growth and the hard work go together. So there'll be a lot of the lots from the sun and the growth of hard work with the birds, and recognition will come that will make him make his decisions on his direction moving forward. Because crossroads is obviously the two paths, and it's leading him into the future. So as far as your career is concerned, Emmanuel, there are things as you go forward in 2022 that you find that the direction that you're moving in isn't quite what you had hoped it to be. You're not sure what your long-term plan is just yet, but you do know that you want to find direction, you do want to grow, you do want to put in the hard work, and you will start putting in that hard work, which in turn, as soon as you start putting in that hard work, you get the number 32, you get the moon, you get the pat on the back. If you're wanting a promotion, put the effort in and it will come in 2022, which in turn will lead you to decisions then moving forward on your career path. You will be able to make a firm decision as long as you put in a little bit of elbow grease. I am just switching back to me. So did you see what I was doing there? Again, I didn't use any techniques that are adding cards together or really strictly combining. I'm using it as more of a fluid box that takes you on a journey through the future into the answer to the question, using key cards from the theme, work cards, for example, like the birds card being hard work and effort, your moon card as recognition. So using those key cards within the theme to explain the journey further. I'll see if there are any questions. So much info without knighting. Yeah, knighting isn't needed. It is actually a cartomantic technique. It's not a Lenormand technique. People do love to use it, obviously, but you actually do not need cartomantic techniques. You can read the Lenormand as it should be read, which is the easy way. Let's have a look. That's interesting how you work the male female card in. So what I did there, I put the male and the female card in there just as an explanation on what would happen if the male or female came up. Now what we'll do is we'll leave it to chance and see if the male or female card comes up, and if it doesn't, then we'll work through the box without that cue of where to start. I will go up to try and find what the next question was. I think it was Yasmine, but I will check. Yes, Yasmine would like to know how the move to Germany will work out. I'm hoping really good. So I switch you to the overhead and I shuffle all the cards in together this time. And we ask for Yasmine, and I will give it a proper shuffle to make sure that we are properly mixed up there. Show me Yasmine's move to Germany. Where are you moving, Yasmine? You better not be close to Munich, because you could have seen me all those years. Yasmine moved to Germany. Coffin to start with. Fox in the mix. Tower. Stars. Mountain. Fish. Woman. So Yasmine's card came out, cross and whip. So Yasmine's card came out at the bottom, and this means all this weighs down on Yasmine. All the cards there, she's exiting her own spread. So these are going to be difficult cards for Yasmine. The move to Germany won't be an easy move. It doesn't mean it can't be done. It doesn't mean it won't be successful, but it won't be an easy move for Yasmine. She's sat down here. So you take her as your cue. Maybe next time we don't get the woman out. We take her as the cue, and then we look for a theme in the spread to see, you know, what are the difficulties that Yasmine will be facing. We have some pain cards with our coffin and our cross. Whip is discord and brings in difficulties with it. Mountain and fox suggest other people in the mix, because the mountain shows enemies and fox obviously shows deceit. So if you think of this on moving countries and putting it into a little bit of perspective, Yasmine clearly has an idea of how she's going to do this, because she has star above her head. So she has a clear direction on the way she's going. But what she's going to find out is when she's moving and in the art of moving or preparing for the move, some of those directions are going to come to an end, and endings are expected because she is moving country. So I would absolutely expect the coffin card to be in a move when you are moving country. Fox and mountain again suggest other people bring in difficulties in the mix. And then we have long term of our tower. We have our abundance of our fish and whip. And if you look at the fish and the mountain together and the fish and the whip together, you know, it's going to cost her somewhat to actually make this move. The financials may actually be the ones that are causing the issue. If she needs any financial help from anywhere, then it could be the finances that are actually causing that issue, or people regarding those finances are causing the issues for Yasmine. If you think about a move, it's a big outgoing in one go, which probably brings in this feeling of, oh my God, can I actually substantiate this move with so many outgoings required? Remember, she's got a direction. She knows where she's going. She knows what she wants to do. But can she actually confidently say, I've got the moolah to back this move up? And to me, because Yasmine is in here, this is more looking like Yasmine's own insecurities in the mix. And yes, it's a lot about going, can she do it? Absolutely. With stars there, coffin, she can make that end. She can absolutely do it. But the roll up to the move and the short period after the move, because that's what we've asked about, the move itself, is going to cause her some financial strains that put burden on her with cross behind her back. They put burden on her. But with stars above her head, if she keeps focusing forward, she will make that end and she will leave where she is to actually make that move. It's just some burdens on the horizon before, during, and shortly after the move. So I will put myself back up there. I hope you all understood where I went with that one. My company is going to pay for it, they said. Well, that's wonderful. And I would just make sure that you get that in writing beforehand and make sure that, you know, your own insecurities don't come up. You know, we're making a big move here as well. We're moving into another home. And there are times at which, you know, you think, oh, can I substantiate this? Can I really make this work? But we do it, and that's what the stars above the head is. We're going to do it. But there is that inner turmoil as we actually go through it. So you're going to live in the mountains. Which mountains? Tell me where you're going to. Okay, I will have a look at another question. Hopefully we don't get a person in it this time, so we can look how it falls without a person. I'll see who the next one up was. Love for Pharah in 2022. Pharah is single. Let's have a look at love for you and see if any of the cards, the man or woman, fall. If they don't, I will have to force them on a read. Pharah Love 2022. Pharah Love 2022. We have Scythe, Tower, Fox, Ring, Stork, Tree, Letter, Heart, nice, and Clouds. So love in 2022, and we have no significator falling out. We have no man, we have no woman. So we just have a pure box spread with no person significator to give us the direction in which we're reading. What we do have is we have Ring, which we want to see in a relationship read, and we have Heart, which we want to see in a relationship read, and we have Tower, which we want to see in a relationship read. They're three awesome cards to be in a relationship. We also have Clouds, Tree, Scythe, and Fox. So we have some difficulties within the mix. So where would you start on this? The first thing my eyes are drawn to are the cards that actually signify what being in a relationship is. Heart. Heart with changes above it. Heart with changes and Ring above it. So we have love within the cards possible. And we have changes moving to commitment. Now, as the man and lady do not fall, we cannot confirm 100% whether Pharah will meet someone in the year ahead. It is possible with a heart, ring, and tower, our long-term relationship. But there's nothing to suggest a man in the mix or a woman in the mix to really solidify that interpretation. What we can see is our heart being flanked by letter and clouds, and ring, stalk, and tree in the mix together. It's almost like each of the solid cards has a niggle next to it. You know, it's the fox niggles away at our tower. The scythe niggles away at our commitment and our longevity. And the clouds really niggling away at the heart there. Let me have a look if you have any questions on that. Jackie, if you say what question you're talking about, you say, I wonder if the cards are capable of answering that kind of question. You mean whether somebody's on the horizon? Absolutely. You can see if a person is entering. Okay, so I would look at the cards that really suggest a relationship, because that's what we're looking at in here. I would look at heart, and I would say, you know, there's some really big emotional changes coming where you actually are looking for a partner being our ring card and that commitment. There will be some communication with another person regarding emotions and regarding our commitment. So that kind of leans into there is a possible person on the horizon that Pharah will be talking to. And there are changes within that. Pharah could already be talking to somebody that she's interested in, for example, and the stalk card signifying that that talking becomes more of a relationship, or we'll see that happening in 2022. With scythe in the mix with ring and tower, I would suggest that the communication that Pharah has with a possible suitor next year doesn't lead immediately to full-on commitment, full-on long-term commitment, because we have scythe and tower together, which is long-term commitment being cut away. But there is a change into a more settled position with a change into ring. Then we have a bit of a cluster of mess along the right-hand side, which is fox, tree, and clouds. And I would suggest the person that Pharah will be talking to or is talking to already, Pharah has some doubts on. They have doubts whether this person is the right one for them. They have doubts whether this person is playing with their emotions a little bit. They have doubts whether, you know, it's actually a healthy relationship. But if you look at the direction of the stalk and they're swooping into that ring, it looks like that this communication that they have and the doubts that Pharah has is actually leading them from this tree into a swooping, more settled position with our ring card. So there will be some ups and downs when it comes to love within 2022. There will be somebody absolutely that Pharah is talking to, getting closer to. And she will see that she has some doubts with regards to this person and whether they fit her long-term mold. But as the story goes along in 2022, she'll find herself swooped a little bit more into the mental position that maybe this is a person, maybe this could be something. So a more solidifying of love within 2022, but it won't be without its downs, where she is doubting the person as a perfect person of for a relationship with her. Okay. If the man card turned up in this spread, would the cards then all be about the partner? Absolutely. They would show that the partner's role is crucial in the situation. And we would absolutely focus on the partner card as showing his actions or her actions within the time scale that we set. So let's have a look. Presume we have some more questions. We do. Great question, Nancy. I will absolutely do that. Nancy would like to know why her books aren't selling as well as they are. For sales, what cards do we want to see? Put them in the comments. If you were wanting to see sales getting better, what cards would you want to see in a spread? If you were wanting, for example, book sales and something that comes in like royalties, subscription royalties, what would you want to see for that? Having a look down. Ship, absolutely. Anchor, absolutely. Fish, absolutely. We want to see a few of those cards for Nancy. The question is why they aren't selling so well. So there will be an explanation on that. So if ship comes up, we look to the cards around it immediately to find out what is affecting those sales. If anchor comes out, we look to see what around it is affecting that trade. Great, Molly. Sun, if you want to see the growth in finances, absolutely. Ships, fish, sun is a great example of sales and the financials that entails growing. Then I'll switch the camera over. So these are all mental things that I think about before I am reading. So if Nancy comes to me and said, why are my books not selling? I mentally make a note and think, well, let's have a look at marketing, for example. Is marketing going to come up with the garden card? Is it going to show the ship and what those actual physical numbers on paper, you know, what's affecting that? Is it going to show the trade, the business behind it with the anchor card? Are we going to see, you know, discord of the whip in there? So why are Nancy's books not selling as well they could? Nancy, put your book link in the comments. I'm sure I have yours on my bookshelf here. I am sure people who are watching would like to read your books too. Why are Nancy's books? So we have clouds, mountain, birds, and that's an effort card, remember? Discord, which I would absolutely expect if things aren't selling well. And we have ring in the mix, which is our commitment to things or contract. Snake, scythe, man, and 22 is decisions of the path card. Now, Nancy, I'm not sure if you are with a publisher, for example, but this is somebody else related to the books. This is not you. So we have the man card coming out here, a man that you are tied to with ring above. And it might not be a man, it could be just another person. So publisher, for example, if you are with a publisher, one that you're tied to and one that is not working in your best interest with mountain above. We have crossroads ahead of him. So decisions made on the books or the sales of books are not entirely what they seem. The hard work of our bird card is almost negated by snake underneath and mountain next to it. It's like there's not been enough effort put into the book sales. We have no sales cards. We have no marketing cards. We have nothing to show sharing, for example. They're all cards that show this hasn't been done, that hasn't been done, rather than you know, with a focus on marketing, for example, or a focus on the actual pennies. There's nothing shown with that. So, and there's nothing shown that's wrong with the book itself. That's very important to say. It's more about another person's interest in this book not working in your best interest, and not enough effort has been put in to bad decisions as well, with 22 and snake above it. Bad decisions being made by a third party who really hasn't put the elbow grease in, or has put the elbow grease into the wrong way. Probably another author's book with 21 next to it. You see, I've read those cards there ahead of him. I haven't even looked at the ones behind yet. KD Publishing, you're self-published. Well, then I would look at this as the Amazon side of life. The Amazon, you probably, if anybody, I publish with KDP too, and they don't, you come up in searches, but you're not physically marketed by them. There's no work put in by Amazon. They obviously sell their best-selling authors, and they come to the top of searches always. And that effort of work hasn't been put in from the publishing side, which is something, Nancy, that you would have to take up on your own. It gets lost with our clouds card. It gets lost in a lot of other things, and it's just not seen by, even if we take this as the customer, it's not seen by the customer. The customer's product placement will get Amazon's favorites, for example, not your book, which isn't obviously in your best interest. I would suggest from these cards that you were going to have to take on some of the marketing activities yourself, some of that bird's effort. You are going to have to take on that yourself, sharing everywhere and just constantly putting it out there, so that you can overcome this being buried as you know what they're like in Amazon. You put a search in and you get the top 10, or well, the top 100 are the ones that go with Prime and are their best sellers. So that effort is going to be required to put in by somebody. No marketing cards would lead me to believe that you need to do some marketing. No sales cards would believe for me that would show me that you really need to put some effort into that sales cycle as well. So it's not just left on KDP shelves for them to, you know, just run it as per people are buying. You actually need to do some legwork yourself. Okay. So if you saw from that a partner card came up. It wasn't Nancy. I didn't take it as her husband, for example, because it didn't fit the question. It just didn't fit for it to be Nancy's partner, putting a spanner in the works. It's a third party, especially with the snake being in there and the mountain being in there. Is the central card the most important card in a 9 box? No. Every card is the most important card in a 9 card box. But Nancy's sharing the WDA, share everywhere. Share everywhere. Let everybody know. Fly that flag as often as possible. I will have a look if there are any more. I'm sure they are, but it is who asked about their grandbaby? Can you put your name in? I don't have your name. I would like a name if I'm going to read to you. Can you tell me about the personality and interests of my new grandbaby? That's a beautiful question and something we don't get asked very much. If you could put your name in the comments. I am just looking through because I have to go all the way up. Sharing is caring. It absolutely is. If you don't put your name down, who's asking about the grandbaby, I will go to another question in a second. I've packed Nancy's books all ready to go with me to the new house. Hi, Yannicka. They're all packed and ready to go. Okay, I'll choose a different question because I didn't get a name in there. We have Jackie did ask. Jackie, where's your question? I know it's here. Jackie Masters, will my finances improve now and in 2022? Is there anything I need to be aware of? Will I get this aspect of my life in balance? Okay, so that's a few questions in one. What we'll do is look at finances, and if we have an improvement, then we will see improvement cards. If we don't have an improvement, then we'll see degrading cards. If you are going to get it in balance, then we'll see some nice balanced cards in the mix. So I will ask that now. Yes, I'm moving again. We need better internet. We can't live with this. Okay, I am asking for Jackie and finances. So, what are your favorite finance cards? What do you want to see in there if there is finances on the horizon? What don't you want to see? What would be awful to see? What kind of combos do you not like seeing? I will give it a proper shuffle so we are not mixing. Jackie, finances. Bear, cross, coffin, child, lily. Lily is quickly becoming heart, serpent, snake, sorry. Lily is one of my favorite cards in the Lenormand deck, and it's so awesome for so many different subjects. So we don't have a querent card in there. We have lilies centrally, and lilies is our sense of satisfaction. So how satisfied we will be. And with Lily being present, it's showing that there is a level of satisfaction with your finances coming. and it's flanked by heart and child. Note there are no financial cards. I know people will jump in and say bear is a financial card. Actually, it's not. It means things are going absolutely so freaking awesome that people around you are jealous. That's the core meaning of the bear card. So awesomeness in finances. We do have child in the mix. Like I said, Lily, and then we have our couple here who are hanging out at the top saying, hey, it's not quite enough. And if you think on the level of finances, if you think of finances being low or high, how happy we are with our finances versus whether we are rich or not. And if you think about, everybody has a different level of satisfaction regarding finances. And we'll have a level at which we are okay with our finances or happy with our finances. And that's directly impacted by whether we earn enough each month to get us through, whether we stop spending, for example. And many other things. There's no fish in there, there's no ship in there, there's no anchor, which are the most stable of our financial cards. But we do have a level of satisfaction, and that's really nice to see in a financial read, even if we have some troublesome ones around. You know, take your level of satisfaction and add bear to it. And that takes your level of satisfaction of your finances upwards. Child takes your level of finances, satisfaction thereof, down a little bit because it's a small card. It's a little card. So only taking those into consideration already, Jackie's satisfaction lies somewhere between great amounts, awesomeness, and, you know, I'm doing all right with our child. Easy. It's okay. It's enough. It's enough. There are times during the year where she'll be worrying and it will be affecting her satisfaction and thinking, actually, I don't have enough this month with cross and coffin. This month, I really don't have enough. But on the whole, it's okay because that's our well-being card. It's okay. Despite this coffin over the top, it's okay. We're a little bit short this month, but actually we'll make it through the month with these two cards centrally. And then the cards beneath, you know, we're lessening even more as we go down. We've got that great awesomeness. It's enough. It's really not enough. There's something wrong. There's too many outgoings. Or a loan coming in. Some help with that. A little bit of help to get over these months that are a little bit tight. And with Moon at the end and that recognition, especially with the heart and lilies around it, it shows me that the outgoings will be met. The incoming will be enough for Jackie to live. There is an imbalance in that it's monthly sways. So we have this sway of awesomeness down to, oh, fucking hell, I haven't got enough. So there is a sway difference between, you know, month start to month end. But on the whole, the finances are going to be in a position where Jackie can say, actually, I'm doing all right. I'm making enough and I'm quite happy with that. Sometimes things are a little bit tight, but I'm actually getting on my feet a little bit and it's enough for me to do the things that I enjoy. I'll put me on. Did that make sense on the financial basis and how I do it with the levels? You know, you're taking every single card into consideration and basing it on what your level of financial happiness will be. And when they're all mixed up, you know, you will have those moments of ups and downs. Hi, Garth. I'm really glad you made it for the last few minutes. You will have those times where finances are up and down, and that's reflected in the cards. It's not a black and white, add these cards together to, you know, do a dot to dot, and you've got your terrible finances because you have cross and coffin and snake in there. You know, there is that balance there with lily coming in. That's the kind of fluidity you need to have with your Lenormand deck to offset those feelings within you. You know, I always talk about embodying the cards and really feeling what those cards mean, which allows you then in any situation, whether it be finances, sales, or whether it be love, etc., to have that way off of what they actually mean, you know, as their core meaning, and weigh them off against one another and explain that ebb and flow of what life is and the ebb and flow of what a storyline is. You know, we don't have a clear narrative going forward at all times. We don't at all times have star, you know, guiding us forwards in the same way. um it's life's a lot more complicated than that, and we have side crap coming in from all directions often, and that's reflected in your cards as they lay in front of you. That, you know, almost pick a mix, you know, taking the good and the bad together, but actually merging them into a storyline that makes sense to your reader and explains a situation rather than just saying heart and coffin together will mean end of, for example. It should be more of a give and take and more of a flow, so that you don't dive into doom and gloom, um, which is very easy to do. And some situations are doom and gloom, and you will see that. But it's weighing them off against one another that actually gives you the direction of the whole storyline. What time? We're at 52. So I am going to finish now. I am going to thank you. If you have any questions on the box spread, pop them into the World Lenormand Association on Facebook, the group we have on there. I am generally around. Tag me twice if you have to. Or if you want a course, check over the worlddivination.association.com website, and we've got a load of Lenormand courses on there taught by me and others. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for joining me. And if there's anything you want a video on, whether it be Lenormand, Kipper, scat cards, gypsy cards, tarot even, runes, Robert, yes, this will be saved on the YouTube channel so you can watch back at any time. If you've got anything that you want me to do a video on, hi Steffi, or a walkthrough on, let me know, because otherwise I don't know, and I just run through stuff that I like. Have a lovely evening, everybody.